everybody, in today's video I'm going to talk to you about the number one obstacle to putting your anxious dog on anti-anxiety medication. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, I'm Denise. This is Geo. We are from Everything Dog. And I'm going to tell you today the number one obstacle for putting dogs on anti-anxiety medication. And the number one obstacle is, drumroll, you. Why? Because we have this feeling, this thought in our heads that our dog should just be able to get over it. They should just be able to walk by other dogs. They should just be able to get through a thunderstorm. They should just be able to understand that I will be coming home. There's 100 different varieties of anxiety. And when I'm talking about anti-anxiety medication in dogs, I'm talking about, like, maybe not severe cases, but cases where the dog's quality of life is a little sketchy because they can't function in everyday life, okay? But again, the number one obstacle to putting your dog on medication really is you. Because here's what people say. I would like to try no medication. Or they'll say, what about CBD oil? Or they'll say, I don't believe in medication. I don't believe in anti-anxiety medication is really what they're saying to me. But I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you an extreme example. If Geo here had raging ear infections, would I take him to the vet? Yes. Would I get flushes and medication, whatever I needed to clear up his ears? You better believe I would. If he was hit by a car and needed surgery, would I do that? Yeah, I would do that. Right? Any physical thing that happens to your dog that you can visually see and go, oh my God, he's bleeding. Oh my God, he's got a tear in his skin, whatever it is. You will go to your vet and you will have that taken care of just like that, right? We all will. But the anxiety is a mental, you can think of it as a mental illness in your dog. And that's a different beast. It's much harder for us to wrap our brain around, will my dog benefit from medication or not? And how will I know if my dog will benefit from medication or not? Or you make it about you, that you've done something wrong, that you failed your dog, that if you socialize them more, if you expose them more to the things that they're afraid of, if I trained harder, my dog will get better and I won't need anti-anxiety medication. And dogs that are super anxious, most of them, there's a huge genetic component to that. They are coming from mom and dad dog genes that have anxiety in there already. And then there are certainly environmental things or things that could happen to them that just might, tip them over the edge. I've worked with not lots of dogs, I've worked with several dogs that were crated during a home invasion and the owners were not home. And now they can't get those dogs back in a crate. Do they need anti-anxiety medication for that? Probably not. As long as the rest of their life they're really chill and okay and they're not anxious. If it's singularly, if the anxiety is about one thing in particular, crates, okay, we won't crate the dog. Now, it's not to say that thunderphobic dogs we had one that, did a lot of damage to himself, did a lot of damage to the house in an effort to get out of a house or into a different room or behind something that there really wasn't ability to get behind. He needed medication specifically for that thunderphobia. And P.S., by the way, that dog was already on anti-anxiety medication because he was super, super anxious. Okay, so real quick today, the number one thing that could be keeping your dog from fully enjoying life and getting the help that he or she needs is the thought that you are having about what it means about you if you put your dog on anti-anxiety medication. And as I said before, it might be you may feel like you've done something wrong if your dog needs medication, that you're a failure in some way if your dog needs medication, that you didn't train enough, you didn't expose them enough, fill in the blank of what you didn't do enough. And I'm going to tell you that it's not your fault. There's a lot of reasons that dogs are super anxious, and there's a lot of reasons that anti-anxiety medication might help. There's no guarantees, right? But you're not going to know unless you can get out of your way, get the dog on some meds, record it, and see if it is beneficial or not to them. All right, you guys, hit subscribe, hit the bell so that you get notified in an email whenever we upload, which we do on a weekly basis. And be sure you stay tuned next week as we continue our conversation about fear, anxiety, and aggression.